It is October 22nd, 2011, and this is The Talking Dead.
Bum, bum, bum.
I am Jason.
This is Paul.
This is Bob.
Yeah, that one.
Hit that one. I took off the viewfinder on it because y'all hate that.
It upsets me.
I know.
It's unsettling.
So
I'm like,
it's been a while. It's all right.
Staring at myself.
It's been a while since we've done a show.
Yeah, it's been like 6 weeks.
It's been forever. You went on vacation. We did a show.
Oh.
And then
I guess it hasn't been 6 weeks for everybody.
Yeah. No. Well, the thing is, we did a show, and then I didn't have time to edit it, so we just now put it up.
Yeah.
But you went to Ireland.
I did.
How was that?
It was stressful. Yeah, that's really. So many people have asked me, and I'm starting to realize, in part because of what like Bob said like 6 weeks ago, like you've got me finding negative shit in everything now because people ask, and I'm like, oh, I tell them, and I'm like, yeah, there was this, and this was weird, and this was weird, and at the end of my like story, they always go, well, I guess I'll never go. And I'm like,
you're like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say.
Man, I seriously need to work on that. So, it was driving on the opposite side was weird.
Yeah.
And the roads there are insanely skinny.
Yeah.
And the first few days were just screwed up from being lost and not knowing how anything works. But after that, it got really cool. Saw some neat stuff. Met some cool people.
Yeah, you told me about the guy you met at the ruins.
Yeah. He was cool. We ended up singing John Denver together, and then talking about Bauhaus and Sisters of Mercy.
Because those go together great.
Yeah, well, he was really into that and like Fad Gadget, and he was like all excited. It was cool because he's like 40 something,
Yeah.
And sitting there huddled up in a hoodie, is silversmith making this incredible jewelry.
Yeah.
I'll have to bring the thing I got from him. And he's putting up a website now, but he's a really good artist. So we talked about, art, music, all that stuff. So it was really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. How was Iceland?
It was good. I think I can one-up you on the road, though.
Really?
Yeah. Because you have once you get out of the major city, which is only like 3 or 4, you have one major highway, which is one that does the entire circle. And then anything else off of that are one-lane dirt roads.
Yeah, that's close to Ireland. They just have your dirt was probably more level than their shitty pavement.
No, we had
which was like
it
was pretty insane.
The car rental place insisted that we take a 4x4.
Yeah, it probably was a little worse.
But it's the most beautiful country ever.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like you don't even have to. You can take the crappiest camera and just blindly snap
all those photos that were on Facebook. iPhone.
Yeah, it is an amazing looking country.
And I got this book from the Icelandic Sorcery and Witchcraft Museum.
Oh, that is awesome. Those pants had to come from the hairiest guy.
Yeah, the necro pants. I'm so fucking happy that I got to see the necro pants.
I thought it was going to be closed when you guys were there.
Well, yeah, we did too, but Miley wrote them, and they said, yeah, when you get here, just if nobody's here, just ring the doorbell.
Oh, that's awesome.
But they were there, so we didn't have to. And it was funny. They're like, while you're doing the museum, we can make you pan-fried fish if you would like. Oh, and it's just like a guy, and you're like,
why are we even talking about this?
That's really cool.
Me and Miley, we both paused and went, should we?
Yeah, I
mean, we're in the
not?
We're in the Witchcraft Museum. Yeah. He's offering to go back to his little quarters and make us Icelandic pan-fried fish, and we're like,
you should have asked if you could try the necro pants on.
I was like, I came here for the necro pants. I'm ready to be.
I actually acquired 2 coins, which I stole from a widow, and I flew all this way.
I stole from my ex-wife.
Yeah. So how was
Norfolk?
It was really good. Really good.
It was very scenic.
Yeah. It was beautiful here in Norfolk. It's nice. It's we're coming up on the most magical time of the year.
It is
Christmas.
Yep. Yeah, I know, right? Wait, what does that say about you? Like you're growing up, where I'm like, fucking hey, Christmas, what a pain in the ass. But now I'm like, sweet, it's Halloween, awesome.
Yeah. That's how I think I've always been like Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, December has a new element for me now because. We got married on solstice in December.
Oh, yeah.
And so it has that Halloween, because we got married in Scotland.
Right.
And so it has that Halloween element to me for December, too. So,
right.
And then for Christmas, we have Krampus. And now for the Icelandic folklore, we have the lads. Mm-hmm. which the lads are insane. They have their little guys that come in, and there's one. Their names are obviously what they are. There's the door slammer, the pot licker, and they come in your house and do those things.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. I'm buying all of the figurines.
Cool. I was telling Jan a couple months ago that for some reason we were throwing away leftovers. We have a megaton of them, and I was just thinking it would be really crazy if there was a monster or somebody who came in your house at night and they lived off of the liquid that acquires at the top of your leftovers.
Iceland's your place.
Yeah, when you get that pool where things are. Granted,
he's like,
consumer.
I don't know.
So there's a lot of fatty. Like, did you ever do that? You're throwing it away, and there's that weird little.
Where you open up your leftover, you had to pour out a little bit first.
Yeah, a guy who just kind of like. Has some kind of like proboscis tongue that it goes down, kind of like in a swan. So that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I'll have to do some research on Iceland.
Well,
that's done. I'm
going to buy all the lads, and then once I get the lads, I'm going to do a photo journal on the site, and
that's cool.
And do it. But no, it's the folklore and just because they still believe in invisible people.
Mm-hmm.
When you told me about that,
yeah.
I was like, no fucking way, no way, because it's one of the most literate countries in the world. But so when I listened to that, there was like an NPR
the podcast that I sent to you.
There's people
tongue
were like,
in cheek.
It is, but it was kind of like. It's not really at least what I got out of it wasn't that the people necessarily actually believe, but it was like we play along, but that's great. That's the fun of it, though.
The main thing is they strongly believe as a culture is like for children you don't get them toys. You do not and the toys you get are very primitive to the kids because they don't want your imagination to die. They think imagination is one of the most important things.
Awesome.
Well, right, and imagination is great. What I'm talking about is that they don't necessarily employ magical thinking.
No. They definitely don't do that. It's like that guy said in that podcast. He said when she goes, "Do you believe in him?" And he's like, "No." And she goes, "Well, if you were going to build a hot tub, which a hot tub is different than what we think of,
right?
And you had to move a boulder to do it, and the neighborhood said that they're invisible people. That's their home. Would you move it?" He's like, "No." And he goes,
"It's a cool tradition to keep alive." I mean,
well, yeah.
To a point.
But like
as
said,
long
it
as
seems like they were just sort of we're all playing along.
Well, I don't know. There were some people there
at the
that
same
were.
time.
Well, we went into a gas station that had all the ruins and stuff, and then we were out in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't a tourist trap or anything.
Yeah,
wow.
It wasn't a tourist. It was authentic.
Yeah, I think your environment changes. It's kind of like when you ask people about paranormal during the day, and a lot of times they're like,
when the lights are on.
Yeah, and then the paranormal at night, lost in a cornfield, takes on a new dimension.
And that's a little scary.
And you're like, logically.
Yeah.
So you're always like, oh.
With the book, I got an Icelandic folklore book too, and in the forward on it, it was talking about how the invention of electricity kind of killed the folklore, kind of killed those stories.
Because it takes off all the shadow.
Because especially in Iceland, the winter, you're without sun.
Yeah.
And so you have to give definitions, especially back then, of what those sounds were that you don't know because you can't see.
Mm-hmm.
They're unfamiliar, and that's pretty much where the belief of the invisible people came from. One of the stories of how elves came about was in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve had a bunch of kids, and when God came down to the garden, Eve showed off some of her kids to him, and God goes, "Are these all your kids? Or all your children?" And she said yes, but she actually lied to God because she didn't get in time to finish washing all of her kids and clean them up, so she was embarrassed to present them to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew this, so he said, if they're not fit for my eyes, they're not fit for anybody. And he cast the ones that she didn't present to him away and made them invisible to human sight. And the offspring of those children became the elves and the invisible people.
Those kids got totally fucked.
Hey, Eve fucked it up again.
Yeah.
Leave it to a woman.
But it's funny, and the most fascinating thing about that story is not necessarily the birth of the elves and the invisible people. It's the fact that Christianity has taken a hold of that culture, of that folklore. When that story was first told. Fuck that. That was not happening.
That's how it is in every country. I mean, it always adopts.
Real quick before we jump into it.
Yeah.
This is our dinner table in that place.
Oh, neat.
Awesome. That's cool.
Did you feel like you were like those two guys in an American Werewolf in London? What's that mean?
No, they were.
Get out.
Yeah. I said, "What's that blood?"
Yeah, there's an old story called the Children of Ur. That's one of the
I think
big Irish story, and it's about this king's children and stepmother and all this stuff that they ended up getting turned into these swans. And then they have to live for like 900 years at these certain lakes, but they can sing really well, but they're still, human inside, blah, blah, blah. But at the end, they're saved after, I think, like 900 years or 1,000 years because Saint so-and-so comes and baptizes them.
Oh,
and
good for them.
Yeah, so that's, I'm sure it didn't originally start like that. It's just one of those things that, you got to keep people under control and put your stamp on the good story.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you see any good horror-related stuff there?
No.
None?
No.
When I was in Ireland, when I was in London, I had a chance to go to the London Dungeon.
Yeah. Oh, I went to Edinburgh.
Fucking awesome. Yeah. It was like one of the best things on the trip, man. It was neat. So I don't know, man. I mean, I'm sure Ireland is full of torture and death.
Yeah. I'm sure it is, but we just ran out of time to do all this
that's
stuff.
That's the suckiest thing about it.
I mean, we were in Dublin for 3 days, and the first day is kind of catching up on sleep because it's just shit. I mean, you still go out, but I don't know how it is in the rest of Europe, but everything shuts down at 6 on the dot in Ireland, except for pubs and restaurants. Yeah. And, I don't get up that early. So, and Jan takes a little while to get ready. So by the time, you drive to your next destination, you got like 3 hours to see the city.
Yeah.
And then you've got the next day, but it's like, well, what do you want to go see? So yeah, I wanted to go.
That's what I love about Europe though, is that it opens late and closes early.
I hate that. I hated that so much. I was like, I can't go anywhere. Everything's shut down. There's nothing to do. Except go to a bar.
I
mean, this is the most alcohol I've had to drink.
Did you have a Guinness in Ireland at least?
I didn't even finish it. I didn't like it enough. I just don't like
I don't like it either.
Beer that much.
This show's over.
Yeah. This is the least
Shut that camera off.
Yeah. This flat tire stuff is the least offensive
it's
stuff
fat tires
I've
really
ever, swallowed. Yeah. So it's just I don't mix with the culture.
I've seen you swallow some very offensive stuff.
Yeah, well, that's totally different. That's for cash and prizes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm not as European as I thought I was. I was just like, what the fuck?
Well, you didn't go to the right European.
Decent signage. Why isn't anything straight? I demand logic.
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll find a European country that you like.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Either that or I'll
just stay here.
Maybe I'll try Japan or something where everything is punctual and
way expensive. Flying over there is expensive.
Yeah.
I want to go there so bad.
I'll talk
you know
to you about
what you would
later.
like then?
Really?
You'd like Vegas. You don't have
you got that.
You don't have to leave the country, man.
Yeah.
Shit there is open all the time.
The Europe that I'm used to is the Epcot.
And it's so great. You get all the food.
And you can go to Vegas. They have Paris. They have France.
And
they have Egypt.
And it comes with the roller coaster.
Yeah.
That's the best part. Yeah.
They got all that shit there.
No, I mean, I liked Ireland, but there's things about it that, it was just weird to me, having never been out of the country. It was hard to get a washcloth anywhere.
Nobody washes in Europe.
Yeah, I was like, we'd ask for a washcloth. And
I wouldn't have thought that Ireland was like a shower optional country.
No, they all give you, towels and everything, but they would only give you like one washcloth, for a couple days. And we'd be like, could we get another washcloth? And whenever we'd say washcloth, they would look at us like we're idiots. And they said, you mean a face cloth? And I'm like, well, what the fuck do you use on your body? I mean, it's cool to just use soap. I'm in a hurry sometimes, but, traveling all day, I'd like a good scrub. Damn. Just stuff
That's
like
what
that.
the loofah's for, man.
Yeah, you're supposed to bring your own loofah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or as Bill O'Reilly calls them, falafels.
Falafels.
Remember the sex tapes of the sex scandal back?
No.
Yeah, he sexually harassed one of the interns at Fox News.
Yeah.
And the transcripts from the court, somebody made a video on it, but the transcripts, he's like, yeah, I'll take you out to drinks and get a couple beers in you really quick, and then we'd go back to the room. You would get in the shower, and I would come up behind you with one of those loofahs, and I would reach around and rub it on your stomach, and then I said, like, I'll take that loofah and stick it in your falafel.
No.
Or, something like that. And obviously he didn't mean falafel, but
Right.
but it became like legendary, and he went on a
Wow.
hell campaign to get
I
it
can't
banned
wait to
from-
shoot my hummus off of your shit.
Just like, you're trying to be all sexy and shit, and you say something that stupid.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's a douchebag anyway. Anyway, so
That was one long fucking intro,
that
man.
was a good intro.
Yeah.
That was only 16 minutes.
We're just catching up, man.
Yeah.
I miss you guys.
I know.
So, did you guys watch the first episode of The Walking Dead season 2?
Yes.
I liked it, but here's the thing.
Y'all
that-
both said the same thing
that
about the
when I
thing
was
afterwards.
watching it, they had a commercial and it was like, and now after stay tuned for AMC's The Talking Dead, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm like on the phone, call Jason right now.
Emailed him the next day. It was like,
He sent me an email saying it. It's like I don't know.
I should use all caps.
I thought it was funny. Y'all both said almost the same thing. It's just like,
Son of a bitch.
I know those motherfuckers. Oh, god damn it!
I can't control that. All that does is help us. So.
Yeah.
I mean, because people are going to search it.
All right, yeah, cool, but it's
Now we gotta get.
As long as we
but
don't
I'm-
get a cease and
I'm
desist.
Right, I'm waiting for the cease and desist letter from AMC.
Oh, then you just spell it differently.
Yeah.
We spell it with a Y.
Yeah.
I don't know where, but
Yeah.
There's a Z on the end for boys. What?
no, I don't think it's going to be an issue. This thing is going to be gone as soon as the series is over. Nobody's going to think of it again. They got Chadwick or whatever that guy's name is doing it. He,
Yeah.
all of the shows that he's been on. No offense to him, he's pretty funny, but all the shows that he's been on with related to E and all the other shows has been very short-lived.
Right, they're not as successful as this.
No, I'm not saying.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
saying
know.
that. I'm just saying it's not like they're planning on doing 10 years down the road investment.
Right. Like it's going to become the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah,
and
then we would have a problem.
Yeah.
This is going to be a flash in the pan.
Disney would be a problem.
It's going to be a flash in the pan. They're going to forget about it, and we're just going to get search hits from it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, cool.
I mean,
but I was still like,
I went on the record. This is being recorded. So we'll see. Oh wait, I got an email.
From the law office.
there's a lawyer that maybe like sees this. I'll show them.
I showed that motherfucker.
Cocky son of a bitch. I'm friends with.
that was not cocky. No, that was being not cocky.
I know. I'm just,
I mean, I know. Piranha 3 Double D.
saw the
That is-
world premiere.
Did you see
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Double the threes.
That was brilliant.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Double the
amazing.
Ds.
The only bad thing about it is they pushed it back to 2012.
I don't care.
I mean, I don't care as long as they are putting the time and the effort in it and not rushing this.
Hey.
It's gonna be. The first one was phenomenal.
It's
And
gonna
if
be
they
a
put the
better
time in
climax,
that, it would have been
yeah.
so much better. This one's gonna be awesome too. I'm
Yeah.
so excited about it.
I really when you watch that trailer, they know the movie they made. you
Yeah.
know? They know their audience. They're not even
they're-
ashamed.
I got the first one on DVD. I
Oh,
went
did
into Blockbuster and they were having like those crazy like 5 for $20 sales. So I just like went through.
Yeah.
And that was one of the ones I picked up.
You love that walking out of the theater. You're like, oh my god.
Dude, I was in heaven. That was the best thing I'd ever
You talked
seen.
about that for weeks. You put it as your screensaver.
Oh, I was in love, man. And yeah, I'm so excited for this. It's just stupid fun.
I know,
there's no pretense to anything.
It's
There's
just
no,
raw.
like,
It's just straight up.
There's no artsiness about it. It's just, it's about fish and boobs. That's about it.
What else?
And gory kills. And some of the kills in that got great, man. When everything was going on, it was like felt like I was watching, I don't know, like some kind of cannibal Holocaust crazy. It was just like, this is stupid violence. This is so fun.
Especially about with all the boats in the water at the party. That was awesome.
It's not like, some of the newer ones, like the really intense remakes of older movies. Yeah. This was just in no way threatening. It's just a carnival ride.
They're just like, everybody, here's a beer. We're filming. Let's go have fun.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. New Resident Evil movies coming out, or they're filming it.
Oh, really?
There was a big accident that happened that they sent 12 or 14 people to the hospital.
Wow.
So it's going to delay that movie for a bit. What were you going to say?
I was just wondering, didn't we talk about the Piranha sequel? That now they're in like a water park.
Yeah, they're in a water park.
Like that.
Yeah. Which I think is brilliant, because really a water park, you can't escape that.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
The fences are on lockdown. Yeah, just get out of the pool.
It's like when Jaws 3 3D came out. I fucking love that movie because it's 3D, of course.
Yeah.
But it's SeaWorld.
Yeah.
Well, you can't leave.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's, maybe there was one guy that's like, no, that's absurd. And everybody else is like, no, we're going to go with it. We're going to go with it. It's going to work.
Beer and shut up.
Yeah, shut that guy up.
Yeah, that's funny. I was talking with someone the other day about stuff like that. We were talking about the Fifth Element, and I was telling him that, I didn't really like it when it first came out, and I was just kind of like, this is kind of lame.
Is that the one with Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
And then the more I kept seeing it on TV, I'd watch a little bit, and then I'd watch a little longer, and now I love that movie. It's just I'm like, oh, the Fifth Element. Oh, look, Tricky's in it.
It grew on you.
Yeah, it really did. And he was like, we were talking about Mila Jovovich's outfit in it, how crazy it is. He's like, I kept thinking the whole time, like, how did that machine, why put those straps there? How is it going to form? And then I realized I'd have to come up with a reason of how it actually formed the molecules to build her body. So I just went with it. And I was like, really? Yeah, it's okay. It's like, all right.
All of them.
Yeah.
Man. What are you doing?
Working on my core.
Working on my core. That's right. Dropping the LBs.
Yeah. They say after 10 days of sitting on this ball, you lose one pound.
You got to be careful that the smoke alarms don't go off from the gun show. Yeah.
I ran into a friend of mine the other day, and I hadn't seen him in a while, and he had lost a lot of weight. He literally was like, "Yep, I've been working out, dropping the LBs," and I was like, "All right, I don't know you. I'm gonna go."
Hey, you're a new guy.
She'd have been like, "Yeah, thanks."
I've run into someone that I used to work with before, and I went back to the office, and the guy said, "Damn, you've put on some weight." And I'm like, in what way is that fucking cool? Even between two dudes, Do you like, damn, your face is round. It's just like, what the fuck, man? Come on.
You've just tuned in to the Gay Hour on Zombie Public.
Speaking of that, maybe we'll change it to 2 to 3.
Yeah.
So, our whole joke, it's just two dudes.
It's just two dudes. Man.
We're going to make an international house club song that's the gayest, most auto-tuned song in the world called Two
Bob
Dudes.
is like, I'm trapped over here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Remember the Vaseline?
Yeah, I know, right?
He wasn't.
When we were recording the other show, he kept talking about his segue was like we would like we'd reach the natural end of the discussion, and he was always like, okay, and now I'll go get the Vaseline. And I'm like, stop it, dude, stop it.
Wow.
It was funny. Now
Although
it got weird.
It's good to put on the edge of your hair if you're going to dye it. I mean, obviously,
really?
I just had my hair cut and it's two-toned. So you
nice.
put a little Vaseline on the edge there. And if you're dyeing it by yourself, that way you don't get the dye over. I don't actually have to do that because Jan helps. But
Oh, okay.
yes. This is now the Metro hour.
Yes,
We're
Do I
gonna-
look like I've dyed my hair ever?
yeah. We're going to have
Whitney's
to
on
talk
the
about
phone. Hold
pushing
on.
your cuticles back a little. Speaking of that,
Whitney just popped.
Hi guys.
And
You can like edit some special effects.
Yeah.
We need to like
She'll
be
be
like, hey Whitney, how'd you get here?
I want a
Star
puff
Trek.
of smoke or a ball of
Do it.
flame.
We'll do that.
He doesn't do that shit. I've been trying to get him to.
When we get the green screen, we'll be doing it all day. And then when I can just do this full time, I don't.
We were recording some show and I had to sneeze and it was like it hit me all of a sudden and I was like, I was like, oh, and he left it in.
That's the way it is.
But he didn't edit it so that it was like you're shooting flames out of your nostrils.
No, he left
Like-
it in
or
like this
glitter?
gross.
But
Glitter would
we got
be
more
awesome.
comments on that than if I put
sneeze.
flames in it.
And
But
anything
it-
else.
Wow.
Anything about the content, no. Bob sneezing.
Bob sneezing was it.
And I was
Let's
like,
put it on
yeah.
the map.
I was like, you're gonna edit that
It's
out,
in
right?
everyone
He's
on
like,
Twitter.
no, it's staying in.
But anyway, so it's been about a year now since you've
Since
been on.
I've been on Zombie Popcorn.
Yeah.
And
So
you guys
welcome
didn't
back.
invite me back because I showed up drunk.
It actually made it one of our more popular shows. Yeah.
So let's laugh at the drunk girl.
It was
funny.
funny because I remembered someone I was checking Craigslist for casual meetups, and someone was like, just a dude coming back from the wine fest, and I was like, oh yeah, we did that interview after the wine fest. Yeah,
and that hit off the conversation.
Yeah.
Of that. So you helped him find, a random stranger in the night.
yeah,
But
It
anyway,
almost
so welcome
feels
back.
like I was there, like it was almost like a threesome.
yeah.
It's there in spirit.
I was
felt
only
weird
there in
that night.
spirit as well. Yeah,
Yeah, now I just came from kickball. The situation's a lot better this time.
and we have Vaseline.
See, I always found that kickball was just an excuse to stand around and drink beer.
It is. It's a mighty fine excuse.
but I
Bringing back 3D.
I love the sound the ball makes when you kick it though. That like boom.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It was fun.
People take it very seriously. I've seen like verbal altercations.
Really.
Verbal.
I think they should bring
They're
alcohol
fierce
and crab
vernacular.
soccer
You
back.
bro, I was
Remember
in.
crabs?
It was on the line, bro.
We should start an adult crab soccer league. And
You said craft?
Crab soccer.
That's the next urban
Yeah,
playground
everybody's
event.
gonna be-
Screw zombie tag. We're gonna have a giant crab soccer tournament.
yeah,
Oh my god.
it'll be
I'm
great.
looking at had an epiphany here. That's
Yeah.
awesome. We could do Nukem next.
What's that?
It's like a really dumbed down version of volleyball and dodgeball, kind of both.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's when your PE teachers really hate you.
I was gonna say like I can see a dumbed down version of volleyball. I can't see it getting any dumber than dodgeball.
It's like you have to throw the ball across the net, and then once they catch it, they can roll it under the net to try and get people out.
They roll it?
Oh.
Yeah, they roll it.
Where's the pain in that?
That sounds awful.
Well, because you have to jump up, and there's a game called I don't know what it's called, I can't remember, but it takes place in a sand pit, and you bounce the ball off the walls, and you don't want it to catch it. You don't want it to get you anywhere like below the knee. You guys know what I'm talking
So
about?
is it like if you get hit in the leg, then you have to hop on one leg, and then
No,
if you
you're
get hit in the
out.
arm, you're one arm behind your back?
So we did that
But
with
it's
a
like, but it's like a ground version of dodgeball. So instead of like throwing the ball at people above the waist, like or whatever, you're throwing them only knee down.
No,
so
see,
people
the
have to
way-
like jump up and
See,
everything.
that sounds like somebody took safety into too far consideration. The whole point of dodgeball is you want to hit somebody in the face.
Man,
Well, in
right-
high school, we did kill ball, which was pretty much that. And then the PE teachers were like, dodgeball sounds like a wimpy thing. We're calling it kill ball.
Kill ball.
wow.
You
I
get
was
away with
so
a lot
good
at
at
private
dodgeball.
school.
It was like one of the few. Yeah. Only we never had that catch the ball rule in school.
Oh
It was
no, you
just-
had to be able to catch. That's the
No,
thing, man.
We couldn't. It
Oh.
was just. It was a line of people, and they kept throwing. And if you got out, you went, and then you threw with them. So it just got crazier and crazier. It was weird.
You went to a weird school.
It was cruel. Yeah.
It
Oh
was
man, we had
cruel.
all sorts of weird things they did. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so Survive Norfolk is upon us again.
It is.
We were just saying, it's the
Yay.
magical time of the year.
But we talked about
all
Christmas.
the zombie lovers come out to play.
Yay! So what is different this year?
Well, we get to close more streets down.
Yeah.
Which is going to piss off a lot of neighbors, but hey, we got the city of Norfolk on our side.
That's
That's
cool.
good.
Yeah. No. In terms of like gameplay, one of the problems last year was that everyone knew everything and all the information. So this year we tried to limit the information that was being released, and then with the checkpoints, people will not know them in advance. Kind of like
nice.
kind of like a real apocalypse. You don't know where you're running to. So it's going to be kind of like that. And we're going to start the zombies differently, and the number of zombies is going to be smaller, so the humans get like a temporary advantage in that sense. But there's going to be no time delay between the humans and the zombies this time. But the way we're going to introduce the zombies is a little different.
It's all secret until the night.
Some of it is still secretive. I want there to still be an element of surprise and
Are
fear.
you getting the same
And
amount
fear.
of level of response and this year as you did last year, or?
Well, like it's weird. On Facebook, no, not at all.
Really?
But my website, it has all the traffic. I'm averaging over 700 hits a day.
And what's the website?
On the survivenorfolk.com. Plug. Woo! No, it's and I have the
Shameless
Facebook
plug.
analytics, and it's people last year. It was only available on Facebook, so I think that's why it exploded so easily through Facebook. It was new, it was different, something people hadn't heard of, but the only way you could find out about it was on Facebook. And then this year we actually had a website, and most people are using the website and not the Facebook. Like they're checking Facebook for the events that are going on and to post zombie stuff, but in terms of asking questions, that's been cut by so much, like 90%, because I tried really hard to put all the questions that anyone could ask, so they don't have to ask me and bother me about it. I got so many emails last year; it was so frustrating. So
Can
anyway,
I bring my sandals?
I mean, I've still gotten messages. It's like, we're gonna go to register, and it's like that. I feel like I made that so clear.
Yeah.
But things like that, if you're always gonna get, because it's people that I see and I don't feel like looking through it, so just ask a
What?
question.
I have
it's
to
easier.
read?
Letters
Yeah.
put together into groups.
Yeah, so it's gotten a good response. We could have 3,000 people play this year. The city of Norfolk thought that we handled ourselves appropriately enough that I guess they figured we could have the same area but double the people.
Nice.
That's
So what was the
So-
count last year?
It was 1,500
Nice.
officially. 1,500.
Very nice. It
And
was
this
fun
year we
last
can have 3. So
Cool.
and
just 3 people.
300?
Yeah.
300.
Just 3 people. Hey.
I have something like, it's like 1,100 something, 1,200 something. Like I checked this morning, but I get emails like for when I sell tickets, so I don't know if it's crossed over the 1,200 number yet, but we're over 1,000.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, and the thing is like,
And we still got 3 weeks left?
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like 8 days. It's just like hanging over us now, or hanging over me.
Really, 8
Yeah.
days. It's
Yeah.
sooner
Yeah.
than that. Wow.
It's the 28th.
And I don't know what today.
29th.
29th. It's the 29th. It's the 29th.
Bob's going to show up on the wrong night. Where did you register?
I know. I'm going to stand. I'm the one guy out there. Like, have you
It's already
seen that
happened,
commercial
dude. You missed it.
where that one commercial where the guy gets the text message too late that
No.
the flash mob was changed to the
Yeah.
time,
Oh, yeah.
and he's the one dude out there dancing around.
We all.
That's Bob wandering through Ghent
Yeah,
just as
wandering
a
around.
zombie.
Did you think
So,
I like tacos?
People think it's some like elaborate, like marketing scheme by Survive Norfolk.
Yeah.
So I participated last year, and
You
It
ran?
lasted
Yeah.
about 3 minutes.
I lasted 3 minutes.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
And that might be generous too.
Yeah,
I'm
it
just
probably
giving you a
is.
hard time.
And so last year the I don't know, the prime zombies or the alpha zombies, whatever you want to call them, the guys that
The
started they were-
OZs.
The original.
the OZs.
zombies.
Okay, all right.
Damn,
I like
it feels
that.
good to be a zombie.
They were members of the Old Dominion, I don't know, track and field all stars and
Parkour.
and parkour
The
club.
parkour club.
Wow.
And I remember I was by
That's
Blair
28
Middle.
But the
days
guy in the
later.
wheelchair got you, right?
Yeah.
They're like jumping off of buildings and jumping over cars.
Yeah, this dude, he hopped a hedge and a fence and then like leaped over this car. And when, by the time he got to me, I was like, fucking dude, you got me. I'm not even.
You should have just pulled out a gun.
I don't like
Yeah.
confrontation.
No.
No.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
weapons.
But I will say, but it was kind of strange though, and like
Metaphorically.
Yeah.
it was really fun to play. But when you're like running away from somebody and you don't know that person and that guy is running after you, like there's a real element of fear involved. I was like, holy shit.
That is the point. I want to instill fear into the heart of Ghent.
There was, I mean, you know, like you could have just been like, this guy's going to be a jerk, but I was really trying to get away, you know, and I didn't know what he was going to do.
And that was the fun thing to watch because I have issues.
I sure
with
as hell
running.
didn't expect him to leap over that hedge the way he did.
But seeing people take off running and then zombies go after him was pretty.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
fun because we just kind of walked around and like went window shopping.
I feel like it's a really awesome spectator sport.
Yeah, it is.
Like
And
I didn't
so-
play it last year. I watched it, and I had an awesome time watching.
Yeah,
it.
remember we were walking by like a little music store or something, and
Russell's Music World.
yeah, and then all of a sudden you just hear a scream and someone cuts across like the high school, and you just see like all these people yell, "Get him!" and all of a sudden it's a mob, and it was just like, oh, what a dumbass. You know, it was cool.
It was fun to play, but I also like the aspect of it when you know, like so after you get tagged, right, you're a zombie too, and I was like, well, I have to do my zombie duty and go get at least one person because I wasn't a very ambitious zombie. And yeah, so I tagged a guy and he wasn't too happy about it, but I was like, them's the rules, man.
I didn't make up the rules.
That's funny.
You have to follow the rules. This is America.
Yeah.
This is America. So, is it going to be the same setup? The boot and all that be the finish, or is that going to be announced?
No, the starting and end point are going to be the same. And because with 3,000 people, if we have that many people show up, then cool. If we do whatever, I just want people to have fun. But if we get over 2,000 people, we set the world record. And,
Really?
Awesome.
And that is so cool. That is so awesome to be like, I was part of that. I helped set a world record. Like, how many people can say that? I've never set one, and I want to be able to say I set a world record. So,
Well, even last year, one of the coolest things about last year was like talking about it with friends. It was really cool to be able to say like, yeah, I was there. I participated. I played along. It was really a lot of fun.
well, unofficially, we said it last year because at the time we played, there was no other, there was no larger game of tag, and with 1,500 people, we beat it, by almost half. And then the group in Japan said it in May.
Oh, those Japanese.
I know. They're tricky.
You listen to here, America. If you love this country,
You will you will take the title from Japan.
We did not
We're
lose.
going to set the world record, damn it. But yeah,
We won World War
really
II.
cool. This is for Pearl Harbor.
remember.
Wow, I was gonna make like a racist,
A Holocaust joke.
like a Cotton Hill Kojo. You ever watch King of the Hill? No. So it's just me and my racism.
Damn.
So,
His email is
Yeah.
paul@zombie-popcorn.com. Send all the hate mail that way, please.
oh well, we love Japan here.
We really do.
Yeah,
If it wasn't for Japan, I wouldn't have this show. Thank you, technology.
Yeah.
But yeah,
If it wasn't for Japanese
that's, like,
rope
for me, would be
bondage,
the
I don't know. What?
We got the best.
I just like the knot work. That's all.
Is that too much to ask?
Yeah.
Shows craftsmanship.
They're
the
dedicated.
detail.
You
Yeah.
can be like the 7%.
7% of.
Because you're at the 1%, but then if you don't have to work, but like you can still live, then that might put you like in the 7%.
Just kind of hang out. Yeah.
Way to
So
kill.
what
Awkward silence.
So I gotta help steer these guys away from being weird. Like,
This is why
I'm
you guys
unsettled.
haven't invited me back.
No, this is why we should keep inviting you back.
Yeah.
People tune in for the awkward silences every week. It's amazing.
I mean, we have to get Paul to drop his pants, and we just.
Yeah, there might be a camera here, but you're seeing me in my true form, which I hope, sorry guys. I'm probably super obnoxious. But awesome. Like,
Wait, the only true form they
Super
know.
obnoxious. but
Well,
in an
the only
awesome
true
way,
form they
yeah.
know of you is
I like
drunk.
talking about myself, like in a serious way. Like that's true. I meant that.
She really just.
I
talked
remember
herself
when you
in
were first
third
on the
person.
show.
I might be awesome,
we
but
got
you know, I'm not going to
emails
brag.
saying bring the drunk girl back.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry, too. Mad props to the
3D
skinny
movie
guy
man.
and bring the drunk girl back.
3D movie man, this is for you. We brought the drunk girl back.
How is he, man? I didn't even. I should have got him a gift in Ireland.
Yeah, he dropped us once we started going 2D.
Yeah.
That's the saddest thing.
I know. We'll be back. I'm working on it.
I'll
miss you,
stream
3D
the
movie.
audio, but I'm not.
He even sent me a song he wrote about 3D movies.
That's right.
Oh God.
He did a pretty good job. On
Yeah.
It too.
Let's play it.
Well, we
I don't have it
have
queued
played
up.
it before,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So, we miss you, 3D movie man. Oh, he may watch. We just don't know because we don't have the live chat room.
Yeah.
Anymore. We're not live anymore. So
You should send in an email
do it.
if you are watching. Say like, yeah, you brought back the drunk girl.
Woo!
Emails are 2D.
You just wait.
One day.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
But anyway,
Enough of picking on our only true friend.
Enough levity.
Friend.
He's like, he talked to us twice. He's our friend.
Yeah. Paul has the friend. He's not alone.
but yeah, fun times, fun.
Good times.
What time does it start?
Survive Norfolk.
Yeah.
Are we still talking about that?
Yeah. I figured
No, he's
we
talking
were
about he's
coming
talking
back.
about the bondage.
Yeah.
8:30. Game starts at 8:30,
Okay.
and we'll do check-in at 6.
Time
And then-
limit. Time limit this year.
2 hours.
See, for some reason, I had heard it was like at 3 in the afternoon.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know where I heard that from, and I was like,
I've heard a couple of people like, is it the 30th? Like, is it the 28th?
Yeah.
Is it this weekend?
So
They're
it's
probably
the-
getting mixed up with the botanical gardens.
"Oh, that
Are they still doing
inferior
the zombie
one."
thing?
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
Yeah.
No comment.
At the garden.
The gardens are beautiful.
They are. I used
We'll
to be a
say
tour
that.
guide there.
I know he did.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people
The
have?
gardens were started in 1929.
So do you want to tell that story?
Administration Act.
I mean, you don't.
You've talked about it on the
Features
show.
150 acres
I know.
of pristine.
We're all on drugs. right now.
Bob kind of caught like caught me in a moment where I was like venting. He
Well, you
like
told me
heard this
about
like
it,
whole
too.
thing. Yeah, I mean it's just
I mean, if you don't want to talk about it, we don't.
well, like it's kind of. I mean, I feel a little differently about it now, but you know, when I first heard about it, my initial reaction was like, "What the fuck?" Like, sorry, but you know, I saw what it was called, and I was like, okay, Survive Norfolk, Survive Virginia, and then what the game was, and it was zombie tag, and I was like, and I saw the description for the 4 checkpoints and just the way that it was going to be done. And I was like, that just seemed too similar and too close to be having like that kind of event in the same area.
I mean, we didn't.
Yeah.
This is the last year was not the first game of like zombie tag
No.
in the world.
Right.
No.
I mean, right. But
Like I got the idea from my cousin in
Right.
Raleigh, and he got the idea from some friends of his in DC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of them are different. Like, DC wasn't a zombie theme. It was a point A to point B, and in the meantime, it was like a 7-mile course. There were people who were designated chasers, and you didn't have the aspect of like when you got tagged, you became one
Right.
yourself, like you were out. And it was difficult. Like they could use the metro system, they could run, they could walk, but they couldn't use any other mode of transportation. But I thought that was really neat. It's like a point A to point B. You're 3 hours, like 7.1 miles. Like that's a fair distance to
Yeah.
cover,
It's too
and
much
it was
goddamn work.
wide
That's what that
too.
is.
So like, it wasn't just like going on one street.
Yeah.
Like you had to, and you were going through like a residential part of DC, so you really had to figure out what you were going to do. And my cousin Harris is like, I think a friend of his did it, and he found out. So he did his on the University of North Carolina campus, and then he did if you get tagged, you can tag someone else. And it just, I feel it's kind of like they've all kind of built on each
Right,
other,
evolved.
and they're all a little different. Like I did the zombie aspect, and I didn't do like all the like the checkpoint kind of stuff that my cousin did, but ours are ours are pretty similar. I guess when you really come down to it, but I thought zombie theme because it's close to Halloween, that would be kind of a really fun element to it. I don't know, like just my initial reaction with the Survive Virginia thing was, why are you going to do something that is so similar in the same city, like just a few days apart? Like that would work better if you're going to do it like in Williamsburg or I don't know, Suffolk or I don't know, something like that. And then
plus it takes the bang out of the one. I guess knowing that they were going to do it.
But also do something to make yours a little different too. Like keep adding on to it, take something away from it, or add something to it. And that's what bothered me. I was like, it just seemed like there was no creative thought put into it. And because I think the idea is awesome, and I've been approached by other people in other cities who wanted to do something similar, and I've had no problem telling people what they can do. And I've always stressed, look at what people have done, look at what works, look at what doesn't, and make the game your own. Like make it how you want it to be. You don't have to follow what everyone else has done. And you just get your friends out, or let your community know about it. But just go and have fun with it and really make it your own game. And that's what annoyed me about this, because at first glance, like it didn't seem like that at all. And I mean, I kind of found out, they've added other supernatural elements to it, like vampires and werewolves. So it's kind of like a Twilight theme with zombies too. Maybe the zombies are glittery.
Yeah, I was like, you're like,
which is kind of awesome. Glittery zombies.
You're like, they added a Twilight theme. I'm out.
I'm good. But it would be more family oriented.
Did they add a Twilight theme, or did they just happen to add werewolves and vampires? Because I mean, those have been around a little.
No, Twilight and vampires.
Yeah, I agree.
And I still think it's like being billed mostly as like a zombie thing, but I think to kind of make themselves seem a little different, you know, they've added something with the werewolves and the vampires. And they might be doing something different, like having two different characters. They might add something into the game using that.
Well, then that's,
and that would be really cool.
Right, that would be great.
That would be really cool. Like, the zombies, they're the ones that get to tag you, and then I don't know, the werewolves like give you a bite and they can give you your human life back, and I don't know, vampires would do something. But if I think that would be really cool if you're able to
like add another layer to the game.
Yeah. And I really hope that that's like what they've done. There hasn't been like a whole lot of, I guess, like talk about it with what exactly they're doing. So I think that's why there might be some confusion still there about what exactly they're trying to do.
Yeah, because that one runs during the day.
Yeah, and it's focused mostly for running clubs. Like the Tidewater Hashers are involved with that, and they call themselves a drinking club with a running problem.
Yeah.
So, and from what I understand, like they've got other kind of running clubs involved with it. So they might be doing something geared in that direction. The people who are used to running trails and are used to running kind of further distances and having it all throughout the gardens. I mean,
I could certainly see the appeal that you would have to like have the game in the botanical gardens.
I think that's an awesome place.
I mean, because
to have
you don't have to worry
like
about traffic or shutting down streets, or you don't have to worry about running through somebody's
Plus,
yard.
there are places like the NATO Tower, which is where they have the crowning of the Miss Azalea Festival every year. Funny fact: first Miss Azalea was Pat Priest, who played the the cousin on The Monsters.
Okay. She was Marilyn.
So
Marilyn.
Speaking of adding new elements, I know last year when as soon as it seems like the moment Survive Norfolk ended last year, there was all these rumors about you bringing in corporate sponsors, just all the stupid,
really,
just people just gossiping about it.
People were excited because it was the first time something actually got pulled off, just kind of.
Well, I just know how everybody
like under the radar of the city,
and then everybody came out and was like, "How can we market on this?" And
oh yeah, there was a lot of that.
And then there was.
I could see a Nike commercial coming out of it. There's some dude running from zombies.
And then people were like saying they were going to be like a tent city where sponsors would come in.
Yeah. Everything is local. everything.
Is there a tent city, or is there,
No.
or is it sponsored this very similar to the way it was last year, where they
It's-
sponsor the maps and whatever?
It's pretty much exactly what it was last year in that regard. Of course, it became like, it started out as just like a game to do with my friends, but like once we had to fundraise for it, because all these people are saying we want to go, we want to do this. Okay, well then help cover the costs. You know, if you really want this to happen, do what you can to make sure it does.
And that's the way it should work.
Yeah, and yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, there are definitely people who they see something and they're like, oh, that's really cool and I want to do that, and then you get there in a curveball. Oh, what? Now I have to give like $5-10? Like, what the fuck? You know, you're not entitled to any of it. You're not entitled to a game. You're not entitled to play.
Well, having said that, and I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it because I can hear you say it. How much money do you make from doing this?
None.
There you go.
None.
Not a dime.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's
Whatever, you
that's
pulled
not
up in a
big deal.
Jaguar.
Yeah.
And then you pulled up in a Jaguar. What do you think?
I met her. I met
Oh,
her
yeah.
private
I like
helicopter.
luxury. Yeah.
That's why Bob had to leave. He's like, he wants me to parallel park for her.
I got a message from Whitney's driver.
Yeah. License plate. This
He
is
said she gets
Survive
impatient.
on it.
Yeah, I mean, life's been tough. You know, I just spent a month in the Maldives last month.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, it's been tough life since then. All that money, it's like just rolling in it.
But here's the thing, right? Here's this is what I like about it is you started with an idea and it literally blew up in your face.
Like a grenade.
But rather than go, well, fuck, I'm not going to do that. You said, well, how do I make this happen? And not only is it how do I make this happen, but how can everybody benefit? And
What a selfish mother.
yeah, I know, right?
I am a selfish bitch.
But but so you have like local businesses, they benefit. I remember I talked to some of the people that owned restaurants and things that night last year, and they were like, it was the best night ever. It was like this was one of our best nights all year.
Well, that was for sure. When we walked down Collie,
Yeah,
every
everything
restaurant was packed, and people were sitting outside so they could watch the zombie.
Yeah.
Even the mayor was sitting outside of one of the restaurants.
He was.
just so he could watch.
Yeah, but really, they're like that's an example of and anybody that's pissed off about having to pay a couple bucks for an armband to participate, like that cost goes to covering all the expenses, shut down the streets, extra police, costs money to print the maps, it costs money to do anything, and it defrays those costs, and whatever's left over, you're splitting between which charities this year?
It's the same three as last year, which was the Dart Center, the Hope House, and the Hermitage. And then this year it's Lee's Friends. We've added that on. They're a cancer support group, and a really great organization that they were really popular around here, a few years ago, and they've kind of lost, I think, some of the publicity that they used to have. So I wanted to use that as a way to get them recognition again, because they are locally operated. It was started here in Norfolk, and it's a really good organization. So
Cool.
That's good.
yeah. And all their organizations are something that I have personal ties to, which is why they've all been chosen.
They're all local organizations too. I mean, that's
absolutely.
It's not like you give that money to. I mean, I'm not trying to knock the
Stupid
American
Red Cross.
Yeah, the Red like I mean, it's not like you give the money to the Red Cross or say like the American Cancer Society, but they have huge administrative costs. They have, and local keeps it here. These are local organizations that benefit local people. It's
Well, and that's how it grew. It grew from just being something to do that I thought was be really cool with my friends. That as the fundraising that week leading up to Survive Norfolk happened, and that's when it became the real community effort. And it wasn't until Survive Norfolk and I stood up there to address the crowd that is when it hit me, and it was just this goosebumps feeling, and I don't know, it was incredible. But I was just blown away, just absolutely blown away by it, and that's when it hit me that it was a community endeavor, and it wasn't my thing. Like, everyone in the community chipped in and helped out and did something, and It is just incredible.
Yeah. No,
I just don't even know how else to describe it.
It was win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
And anybody that has sour grapes over paying $5 or $10 to participate, that's shut up.
I don't know. I mean, after the event, I don't think. I mean, the people that I ran into didn't complain about that. I mean, I think once they got out there and saw, holy shit, this is happening here. Nothing happens here.
Yeah, I know, right?
I've never seen this many. I didn't know this many people lived in the area.
Right. Man, who slipped a little cool in the Norfolk's back pocket?
Yeah.
I think that kind of changed the whole attitude about it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but in terms of the big wig sponsors, like I was approached last year by Coca-Cola and by one of the big
because that's what you
radio
need when
station
you're
owners.
running.
Yeah, Coca-Cola. Yeah, I was approached by those people, like, and Pizza Hut, and
My deep dish.
And I appreciate that. That's cool that a huge corporation like that, they saw dollar signs and something that happened, whatever. That is a little.
You're like, I could have that Jaguar now.
But
damn it.
But I was very adamant about, no, we're keeping it local. I don't want it to be Harborfest, and it's no offense to Harborfest, but that is supposed to be a big festival. It's supposed to be huge. It's supposed to have lots of vendors, and it's supposed to have lots and lots of people and whatnot. And I wanted it to just have that kind of that small local community feel to it still. So in terms of sponsorship this year, it's all locally owned and operated, and a lot of the sponsors are exchange of services. So, Colley Avenue Copies, they're printing off all the maps and the waivers, and they've printed off posters and flyers, and Boulevard Screen and Signs doing banners and T-shirts, and there's just so many different companies that are still contributing to this, but helping us cut down on the cost at the same time, which is good because that gives us more money to donate to charities. And I would really like to see that done. And the whole thing I want to do with this urban playground thing is that even to become a nonprofit myself, but the point is to be able to fundraise and give back directly to the local community and to those smaller local organizations by doing fun stuff like crab soccer.
That's coming up next.
It's in there.
We're
It's
doing
in there.
it.
It ain't going
We're
away.
doing
She's
it.
gonna run with
We're
it.
doing
I just want to state that I feel I should be
That's
consultant
awesome.
on that. So
I'm
with
gonna
my
go home
crab
and
soccer
Wikipedia the
expertise.
rules. How many people are normally to a crab soccer team? Because in my school it was
you gotta
classic
get
as
waivers
class.
for everybody's wrist because everybody's gained
Their
weight, and
ankles.
that's like,
Well, the moment
there's going to be a
between-
guy that shows up with special gloves.
You know
have
it.
the little plastic.
It's gonna be like the
piece right
frisbee guy, but
there.
it's gonna be.
Yeah. What's up,
This
bro?
is the best. Seriously, this is the best idea. We gotta start planning this.
Works for me.
I bet you, if you get enough people, there's one guy who's semi-pro crab soccer.
Right.
One guy knows how.
He's on my
played it.
team.
We're gonna start the
maybe he
National
was in,
Crab
a-
Soccer
I
League
used to play on
right here in Norfolk,
Copenhagen.
Virginia.
It's like Copenhagen. Yeah, it's the largest crab soccer scene. He's throwing it on. He's got all this.
He has specialized gear.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even know there was gear
Yeah.
for crab soccer.
I'm just gonna get a crab
retired,
costume.
but I make a comeback. Now I do extreme hockey sack and kushing. It's like kush.
People still koosh.
I don't know. Used to be able to get those things at Spencer's all the time. I haven't seen a koosh
Wait,
ball.
koosh balls.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. They're like the spiky, soft,
Yeah.
rubbery
Yeah, I love it, yeah.
things. Like the
I'm a
hairy-
kusha. In Copenhagen.
Oh, an extreme pog tournament.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
that, just slamming them down.
Bam.
We could make zombie popcorn.
Yeah.
yeah.
Zombie popcorn pogs. Those were so huge.
I really, really wanted to do, and I still
But
want to
they're
do this,
slap
like a rock paper scissors tournament.
I have.
Yeah.
I was so burnt out after last year, and I had all.
I think there have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Really.
there's like a huge one in DC and New York, and I think Philly.
Every
like,
time we get a
huge
good
ones.
idea, it's been taken. I was learning about making pop-up books because I was like, dude, there's got to be a Kama Sutra pop-up book. This would be the biggest seller, right?
See,
Like a
I think
little
our problem
tab,
is we talk about it on the
the
show.
wheel, monkey getting the plum. It's been done like a million times. So
I'm like awesome Kama Sutra pop-up book is out there.
yeah. So did
Looking
I.
this shit up on Amazon.
So,
I did
so
think
far
of one
you,
recently, though.
So far he's brought up
I can market it.
Japanese bond.
Rope bondage.
Sorry.
Totally different. Yeah.
Not tentacle.
We gotta edit that out for. My wife doesn't listen in this show.
She has
She
no
doesn't even
idea
listen
what
to
you're
you when
saying.
it's
My
live.
boyfriend won't be listening either. Hey, guys.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Aw.
Well, I mean, there were jokes to be made, but I don't know how big her boyfriend is. Or, so I'm
Yeah.
just gonna play it safe.
He's kind of
plays
big.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, yeah,
Just gonna keep it silent.
you better watch it.
Here, let me mute your mic. Go ahead.
No. I have nothing.
Did I also mention he's a firefighter at that?
Wow.
In the bedroom.
Oh.
He knows how to put that fire out.
Wait, that's not a good thing.
Hi, Mom. I hope
But-
you're not listening.
I'm a firefighter. Do you need my hose?
You can edit
went
this
there,
part
didn't you?
out, right?
No, this is-
It's also,
He doesn't
I didn't
edit
edit.
shit.
I love. There's so many good lines if you're a firefighter.
Yeah.
Too, you know?
And he has not used one of them on me.
Oh, really? That's amazing.
He watches
That's like-
that. He
that's
could
like
learn
my
so
dream
much.
job.
There's so many things running around in my head that
It's
I
so
want to
many-
say, but I'm
yeah.
not going to say it. Just-
There's so many great like one-liners, like for all sorts of jobs, like even hung jury. For, it's just so many of
I
them.
feel like a professional juror. Like
Yeah.
hung jury.
Yeah. Well, mostly like for adult films and job titles. Like my other one, not that I participate in watching
or sex.
man-on-man porn, but if I did,
Yeah.
right? Check this out. A bunch of scientists in a cave.
This took such an interesting turn.
Discover. A bunch of scientists in a
survived the
cave
show now.
discover, like a Bigfoot kind of thing. Homo erectus.
Why are you looking at me? I didn't-
Sorry. Just got on the roll.
That was so bad.
You know we haven't done a show in almost a month, and
And then
all
you
of
come
the-
back with
all of
So that's the shit
this-
you
this-
think about.
This country sucks. You know what would be cool though?
Hey, I'm sure you were like that kid that like you hear like you're watching the PBS show and they're like, and now we shove the skeleton of Homo erectus. He's like, he said Homo erectus.
It's science.
Yeah.
bunch of kids in here.
Yep.
Whatever. When you first came over
Yeah,
here,
I know,
you're
right?
like,
What-
you're like, I hope y'all don't rape me.
Did I really say
You
that?
really
Yes, you
said
did last year. And everyone was like,
I know what chamber of
Oh.
horrors I was walking into.
oh. How do we respond to that?
I said, I don't think you have to worry about that.
Wow, this
So I mean,
show has really taken a weird
I'm glad
turn.
I don't have to have the same fear this year.
Right.
Even though
I
who
was
knows
hoping-
what had happened if the other eight whatever person like answered the door.
there's another 8 person.
You
Oh, in the
acro-
other
the wrong,
building.
the other
She went to the
building.
wrong building.
Okay.
The Bizarro building,
Which
looks
I did.
exactly
Yeah, the
same.
Bizarro building.
You did that last year.
What?
You went to the other building
Oh, you did?
because I had to go down.
And I went tapping on their apartment, but nobody answered. And then Bob is like, "I'm outside," and I just, oh God, who's
You know,
using this
there's
apartment?
been like some scared old lady in there that's like, she came back last year.
She's been huddling in the corner.
It's
ever
one of those
since.
ritual killings. She's all huddled in the corner.
That's that zombie lady.
Yeah.
She's crazy.
Maybe just a little. Musical chairs.
Right now?
Oh, like a giant musical chairs.
That would be fun.
I always hated that game because musical chairs is like.
They always play the shittiest music.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the
And
point is
it's
the
always
shitty
just a
music,
fight at
but
the
it's
end.
like
My
yeah, it
idea
is.
is
It's
that a
like
big
two
womp
dudes fighting
womp.
over the same chair, and I always fucking lost.
but you did lightsaber battles.
We did the lightsaber battle. Yeah, that was in May. That was fun, and I want that to be like I don't want
that
it
should
to
be
like-
another thing.
I don't want it to be like on Survive Norfolk like level, but it was so much fun last year.
Yeah.
And I feel like I could better organize it because I threw that together like a week before.
My
But it's
I was
girlfriend.
like, oh, May 4th is coming up, dude. May the 4th be with you. Let's have a lightsaber battle. And then I contacted all like the Star Trek clubs.
Star Trek's
There's
like,
only
fuck
one
you.
Star Wars club in the area. So I was
What do
going
the
after
Star Trek
everyone.
people say?
I didn't hear back from them.
Wow.
They had
like-
They were
No.
offended.
yeah.
I think they were.
There was my girlfriend played a little. She participated in the lightsaber battle.
Chrissy
She
was
had
there.
she had a lot of fun. But she said that was a lot of fun because there was a lot of little kids there, and it was
so cute.
and like that was what made it fun was playing along with the little kids.
There were some teenagers who showed up with hockey sticks, like
Yeah.
wooden hockey sticks. Like, can we play with this? I'm like, no. There's a 3-year-old right there.
Wow.
They make
Yeah.
a good puck.
Yeah.
But
It was
some of
cute.
those
Like,
guys-
there were some families out there.
And that one dude that was the big Sith guy, he was awesome looking.
Yeah.
And like awesome and scary.
Yeah, that was really cool because there are people who came out in costume and
Really?
looking like they're taking it seriously, but they just had so much fun with it too.
Yeah.
The photos were awesome.
And I remember there was one dude who he had a great costume. It was a great costume. He was the Imperial TIE fighter pilot, and he had the helmet and the black suit
yeah, that guy
and
was
everything.
awesome.
But he was about 310 pounds.
He's not listening. So don't
So
laugh.
it was like awesome costume, dude, but I don't believe you flew that Imperial TIE fighter.
That's funny.
He looked great though, man. His costume was great.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I just got a little burnout like after Survive Norfolk. I was like, I need a break. Like, and I had all these like things that I would like to do. Like, it would be fun, but it just took so much out of me last year. And then I tried to do like a kind of a scavenger hunt kind of thing in the spring, and I couldn't really get it together because it was interfering too much with the arts festival, and so it wasn't fitting like enough people's schedules. So that's something we shelved that like we really want to do like next year. It's like a historic Norfolk scavenger hunt downtown. I think it would have been really fun and family friendly. So then that's how the Star Wars thing came up, because I was like, well, I want to do something. It's May, and
Yeah, the lightsaber
doing
battle
that.
was really kid friendly, and that was that worked for it. That helped it out. Because usually I don't want to deal with little kids.
yeah, and there was like a time it was cute, and the adults, it was controlled. It was in a small area. Survive Norfolk, you can't have little kids running around with
No.
that.
Well, you can, but
They're
Well,
always
you don't want that
creepy
because-
as zombies.
what's that?
The little kid zombies are the best.
They are the
Yeah.
best.
They've got
They
more
won't catch
energy.
you.
They're just like,
That's what you should start off with. Is like 4-year-old zombies, and then I can win that. Then I can win the shit.
Right. La
Is there a,
Petite
there's
Academy
it's 18 and up,
sponsors,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, even to volunteer.
Yeah, because with the
all the beer that you give out.
not only that, but I mean everybody's got to sign the waiver, but you don't want a little kid who's probably not good. He probably doesn't have good sense running across a road with traffic.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like people were doing that anyway, and
Yeah.
they were adults.
I mean, people get caught up in the game, and it's like you said, it's like, oh my God, someone's chasing me, and you kind of forget what you're doing and where you are, and you go into that mode of survival,
Yeah.
I guess, kind of. And
Yeah, that whole fight or
you-
flight
you
thing, it
don't-
works. It's true.
You don't want that with little kids.
Luckily, you didn't fight.
Even even with
well, your
teenagers,
flight
though.
didn't turn out too
No.
well either.
But like, it's like even with teenagers, they're just as likely to make a mistake like as an adult is, or I guess to a degree. But you don't know. It's sometimes hard to tell if
There's a
it's an
level of
adult or
personal
not.
responsibility.
Right, and teenagers don't have personal responsibility. They're not 18.
All you
but we
teenage
do.
listeners, we
And-
really support you.
Well, legally they
Yeah.
are
Right.
not responsible for anything.
Yeah.
But once you hit 18, that magical number, suddenly you are. And the last thing, someone who could be legally held responsible for something, they don't want to worry about chasing some underage kid out into the street or just or tagging them and them hurting themselves in the process.
Right.
Like it's just too many liabilities with that. And strict 18 and up makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, that's I would say that's just good sense.
Yeah.
Well, my lawyer thought it would be.
From the law offices of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. That's a
don't
Three
get
Stooges
it.
reference. I don't know if
No,
anybody got that.
I got it.
They
I didn't
say
know
that
it
on
was just
Car
the
Talk.
Stooges, but
Yeah. Car Talk. Yeah. They do say that on Car Talk. I remember it was the Three Stooges lawyers.
Dewey Cheatham now.
I don't know anymore.
MarsCon.
Huh? Yes.
Oh, all three of us at the same time. You go first.
Oh, no, yeah, MarsCon. Awesome.
Yes.
When is that?
Coming soon.
January or
It's
February?
January.
I think we should save this part of the conversation when the mics are off.
Oh, okay.
But MarCon,
MarsCon.
we can talk about last year's MarCon
Let's do it.
because that was fun.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, and you can go listen to the panel that we recorded talking about Survive Norfolk on MarsCon. I love those are our people.
They were the nicest, coolest, most fun people ever. Like it was like hotel parties off the chain, and like and
it was all.
And they were all
D&D.
decorated. Like, oh yeah, it was great. We went into like this one room, like in it they were running like this. All these people are sitting around drinking beer and playing these intense D&D games.
It was the major room. Yeah, it was all pen and paper with the
room. That was insane.
And then they had the City of Heroes room where it was just nothing but computers and people were in there just.
Oh, that's right, because you came back and you were like, "Cities of Heroes is the shit."
And he was playing the City of the Heroes.
I still play City of Heroes.
But that's the thing, like people, like you'd walk into the game room, and the first time I walked through, I was really intimidated because you have all these people who know what they're doing and they're playing these games. Then I walked through again, and people were like, "No, come over," and I just would watch, and they would tell me how they were playing their game, and then I actually got to play it for a little while on a Star Wars game. But it was, it was.
Was it Star Wars Galaxies?
Huh? No. It was like this huge grid map,
this
and
was
you had to move your fighter jets, and then
okay.
You
So it was a pen and paper game.
Yeah.
Tabletop. It was like point A to point B, but in the meantime, you had to destroy like different Imperial ships and whatnot, and so you had to plan your attacks. But it was like a turn by turn game. I don't know. It was very complicated, but it was really.
They're all
cool.
really complicated.
Yeah,
One of the
ridiculously complicated.
We hung out in the bar a lot. We like. Well, that was just like the central hub for everything, and that's where people came to eat if they didn't want to leave the hotel to go
And they
get
had
food.
karaoke.
And yeah, they did. But there was a family in there, like a husband, wife, and 3 kids. And when I first sat down, it was a husband and wife and 2 kids. And then I was sitting there just drinking and just hanging out, talking to people. And this one kid comes running to the table, goes, "Mom, it's your turn, go!" And the kid sat down and started eating, and the mom took off and ran to the gaming room.
Oh,
was
wow.
playing, and they did that a lot until the meal was over. It was so awesome.
That's cool.
I'm just gonna put this out here on Front Street right now. I want to go to MarsCon.
I do too.
I'm really excited. We've been invited back, so
we'll talk about that after the show.
we won't talk about it now because nothing's
I have
official.
a weekly D&D game right now.
And it would be good for the upcoming podcast, which we won't talk
yeah.
about yet. But
That's something else in the
Are you
works.
still playing that other game?
What other game? I play a lot of games. Does that make me?
I did.
nerd.
You play with Paul?
D&D.
No, the other one.
Not me.
Which one?
It starts with a C, right?
Which Paul?
Heroes you
No,
play.
not City Heroes. It's kind of like this.
You're talking about diplomacy.
Yes, diplomacy.
Yeah,
That's a fun
we're actually
game.
we're looking for another player.
He looks over here.
Yeah, diplomacy is fun as shit. That is a cool
What is
game. It's like Risk, but there's no dice rolls and there's no you don't get. It plays like Risk, where you have units on a map of Europe, and you to overtake territories or defeat the other guy's unit, you have to have
Really.
superior numbers, and you can only have 1 unit per territory, right? And so, if 2 attacks 1, then 1 loses, but your resources are so limited that the way you get the numerical advantage is you have to have somebody help you out. And so the whole game is predicated upon making and breaking alliances with other players. And then moves are revealed simultaneously. And so you could be like, there could be a thing where I'm like, yeah, Jason, I'll totally help you out. We're going to go get, we're going to do this. And then at the same time, I'm like, Paul, you need to help me out. I'm going to move over and we're going to stab Jason in the back. And this is how we're going to take over his. And it is a fun game. And
That
it's
does
all
not
about
sound
interacting
nice.
with another person.
You lost me at predicated.
Okay.
Wait. I want to take a break.
Yeah,
because-
diplomacy. That is a fun game. We are looking for another player. But,
I'll play.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see some people tonight.
I
and
totally had this conversation with you guys before at Sam's, and you guys were like, "Oh, okay." Like
I
you
was
know,
probably
we'll be in
drinking.
touch.
I have my people call your people.
We want to play. It's because the last couple times we played there were players that like went to sleep, like because if you don't put in your orders, if one player, because it takes time, like moves happen over a period of days, and so the whole game takes like a month. It's like a long term thing, and if one player stops making moves, it throws the whole balance of the game off. And so we've decided that the next time we play, we're going to have a $20 buy-in, winner takes all. And it's 7 people, so it's $140 if you win it all. But you can have 4-way ties and 3-way ties and all, and we figure that'll be enough that the other player, you know, everybody will make their moves.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, diplomacy is fun.
Go on darts. Oh, there you go.
You can edit this stuff out.
He doesn't edit.
Yeah, I know he doesn't.
That
Not
camera's
well.
not even working. That
Oh.
red light off?
Yeah, that red light is off. Yeah. It's all you
gonna
guys.
It's going to be an easy edit this time.
Are you serious this entire time?
That camera's going.
Yeah, it was on
That's
for a
okay.
while.
That one's on.
We've had some amazing stuff going on. I didn't touch it.
You did it.
Yeah, you know, I know whose fault it
It's
was.
not my fault.
I bet your battery's dead.
No, because I charged it fully before the show.
I bet this entire show has been like just you guys have been missing.
Oh, well.
Somebody touched it.
I got it.
No, it was on. I saw it on a while ago.
No. We'll fix it. It's all right.
Oh, my cut off.
No. Just coming in. All right.
We'll just be disembodied voices and.
All right. We have roughly 8 minutes left of the show. So, since we do normally talk about movies, let's talk about movies real quick.
I watched Hatchet the other night. It was so bad.
Really? Why was it so
I've heard
bad?
it's
I
pretty
was so pissed off because I thought that it started out being like kind of silly and stupid, and I honestly thought it was kind of funny. And then I thought that it was going to kind of take like
Turn it
a.
off again.
Is it off?
Yeah, don't worry about it. We got it.
Oh, I thought it was going to take like a behind the mask twist where it was purposely set up to, you know, kind of come off that way, but then it becomes kind of a legitimate horror movie, and it didn't happen, and it was so disappointing.
Yeah, that movie
Nice.
sucked.
Yeah. Like
But-
when he comes out of the cabin looking like, I mean, just, oh, I thought you were telling me, like, spoiler alert.
No, I was just scratching.
Don't give it away.
It's my eczema. Stop.
He looked like what's his face from the Goonies.
Yeah,
Like it just. What was his name?
sloth.
Sloth from the Goonies, and it was just like seriously that's what I've been waiting an hour for. God,
He's
so I
not
was
scared.
disappointed in that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
movie was no good.
So, Survive Norfolk is on October 29th,
Yes.
which is a
Saturday.
Saturday, 8:30.
The streets of Ghent.
And if you want more information, go to...
www.survivenorfolk.com. Yay.
And
Shameless
I know
plug.
last time you said you're welcome to come on the show anytime, but we never had you on this show.
No, we did it on
Um,
purpose.
Yeah, we did actually.
Well, maybe when it's all over, you can come. You can give us the recap,
The recap.
the highlights.
We can do that. Well, you're welcome to come on anytime.
Well, I thank you. I appreciate that, boys.
And if I know Jason, he'll be there with a microphone and a.
I didn't go last year with a microphone. I went there
Yeah,
with
you did. I
flyers.
saw you.
Did I have a microphone?
You had, yeah, I saw you
Did I have
with
my microphone?
headphones on and a microphone pointing at people.
Really?
Yeah, I told, because I remember I was like, hey, there's
No.
that guy with the headphones and all the sound equipment. What's going on?
I think we just handed out flyers.
I think we just hung out flyers.
I know I saw
I know
you with
guys
sound
handed out
equipment.
flyers,
We did.
which you guys can
No,
do
we
again this
didn't.
year.
Because I didn't know what to really do because we're a podcast, so I don't know how, other than talking to you and help promoting.
I was
don't know.
drinking that day. so
Yeah, I think
Um,
you may have it confused with.
Maybe there was somebody else picking up your gig.
I will kill them.
They were from AMC.
They already stole our name. Damn it. Anyway, so yeah. Thanks for tuning in. I don't have anything to promote right now, but stay tuned. We have a lot of stuff going. Obviously, a crab soccer game.
Crab soccer
Coming
tournament. Yes.
MarsCon.
High five. People are going to see your arm.
I know.
They're like, what is that? Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good night.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Night.